Do you know why planes have wings? Well, they aren't there to mimic birds, that's for sure. You probably have a lot of questions about airplanes that haven't been answered. That is why in today's video, we're going to tell you some very fascinating things about planes. Let us start by telling you exactly why planes have wings. Why do planes have wings, and can they hover in the air? Wings are an important part of a plane. Not only do wings help a plane fly, they are also used for lifting, turning, landing, and controlling the airplane. Without wings, airplanes simply will not fly. Wings have smooth surfaces that are curved on top and flat on the bottom. This curved surface makes air on top of the wing move faster than the air on the bottom. Without wings, planes wouldn't be able to rise off the ground and would stay stuck. It is why wings are super important. They help airplanes soar through the sky, just like birds. Most planes cannot hover in the air like helicopters. Airplanes need to keep moving forward to stay up in the sky because their wings need air flowing over them to create lift. However, there are some special planes that can hover as well, like the Harrier jet. These planes have powerful engines that can point downwards to push the plane up and keep it in a single spot, just like a helicopter. It is similar to when you blow air through a straw to keep a small ball floating in the air. Regular planes need to keep moving to fly, while special planes with powerful engines can hover in the air and stay in one place for a longer time. So, do all planes have the same kind of wings? Well, that depends on the kind of plane it is. And remember, not all planes are the same. Which plane is the biggest? The biggest plane in the world is the Antonov AN-225 Mriya. You can think of it as a plane that can carry other heavy materials like giant machines and even parts of a train. The AN-225 has 6 engines with massive wings that stretch wider than a football field. The plane was built in Ukraine and first flew in 1988. So far, there's no other plane in the world that even comes close to the size of this plane. After talking about the biggest plane in the world, it makes sense to talk about the fastest one. Which plane is the fastest? The fastest airplane in the world is the North American X-15. It's a special plane that was made to fly super fast and high, almost to the edge of space. It was flown by NASA and the U.S. Air Force in the 1960s. This plane is able to go more than 6 times the speed of sound, which means it can fly across the whole of the United States in a matter of minutes. The X-15 also looks different from regular airplanes. It is small and sleek in a speedy arrow. Pilots use the X-15 to learn about flying fast and high, helping us make future planes even better. Speaking of planes, another object in the air is believed to run on air, and these are airships. But is this really true? Do airships run on air? Airships are big flying balloons that don't run on air. Instead, they use another gas called helium. Helium is lighter than air, which makes the airship float, like how a balloon floats at a birthday party. Inside the airship, there are big bags filled with helium that lift it up into the sky. To move around, airships have engines with propellers. These engines allow the airship to move forward, backward, or change directions, the same as how a boat moves on the water. So while the air helps them float, the helium gas and the engines are what makes airships fly and move through the sky. That brings us to hot air balloons. Do they use helium as well? Why do hot air balloons float? Hot air balloons float because of hot air. Well, duh. But how does this hot air come about? Imagine a big balloon with a basket underneath it. Inside the balloon, there's a burner that heats up the air. When air gets hot, it becomes lighter and rises. The hot air inside the balloon makes it go up into the sky. The more the air is heated, the higher the balloon rises. So how does the balloon come down then? Well, when the balloon wants to come back down, the hot air is reduced, and this causes the balloon to sink slowly. It's the hot air that makes balloons float and lets you enjoy a fun, gentle ride high above the clouds. Since we talked about wings being necessary for planes, there are also some cars that require wings to function. Which cars have wings? Some cars, especially race cars and sports cars, have wings. These are called spoilers or rear wings, and they help the car to stay on the road. Since these cars go super fast around corners, the car can slide or even fly off the ground. These wings help push the car down and keep it on the ground to prevent it from slipping. These wings don't make the car fly, but they make it safer and faster by keeping it stable, especially when being driven really fast. So, race cars and sports cars cars use wings to zoom around the corner without losing control. In this video, we got to know all about planes and why they need wings. We also took a look at planes, which are the biggest and fastest in the world, as well as the idea behind a hot air balloon. We then talked about how an airship stays in the air and what kind of wings cars have if they don't fly. Hope this was helpful for you. Bye-bye!